Introduction to the cpea project. A part of the Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment requires for all grade 6 students transitioning to high school to complete a group project for assessment. As primary students from the Eliza Summers Primary School, our group consists of 4 students in the persons of
Matthew Palonko, Anaya Rizzo,
Nikolai Mizik, and myself, Lenai Mizik. Our assigned topic is tourism, our sustainable future, careers and businesses, opportunities in tourism. We have done extensive research and held a number of interviews with key government officials, private and public sector tourism stakeholders, and have developed this video presentation to share our findings with you. Thank you in advance for your quiet and attentive viewing of our video, and we hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoy developing it. Good morning, my name is Lena Mizik and I am a grade 6 student representing the Eliza Summers Primary School. My group is contemplating our Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment project, and the topic is tourism, our sustainable future, careers, and business opportunities in tourism. Thank you for joining me. Can you please introduce yourself and state your job title?
Thank you very much, Braden, and good morning to you again. It's an honor for me to be here. In fact, this is my first interview with a student from your school, and I am happy to assist you in any way possible. My name is Josephine Connolly, and I am responsible for the Ministry of Tourism and for the ministries. But today we're going to be talking tourism.
Honorable Connolly, do you enjoy being minister responsible for tourism, and what do you enjoy the most about your job?
I absolutely enjoy being the Minister of Tourism for the Turks and Caicos Islands. And what I enjoy most about my job is that I have a chance to showcase the incredible beauty of the Turks and Caicos Islands. And I also have the opportunity every day to look at ways on how to make sure visitors have an amazing experience from the time they arrive until the time that they leave. So it's rewarding to see the positive impact tourism can have on our islands and the joy it brings to both our visitors and our residents.
What is sustainable tourism to you, and what are some examples of sustainable tourism in action?
That's a great question. I like that question because sustainable tourism means ensuring that our beautiful islands can be enjoyed by visitors today while preserving their natural beauty and cultural heritage for generations to come. It is about finding a balance that benefits both tourism and the local environment.
In our research for this project, we read about all the positive accomplishments you have led on in the tourism sector, namely more travel routes into the country, increasing visitor arrivals, and a new DMMO. What new plans do you have to continue to market Turks and Caicos Islands in a sustainable manner?
So what we are doing, we are investing in a smart database, and our plan is to be smart data driven, to focus on quality tourism instead of volume. Through this, we plan to create opportunities for people that the tourists and visitors to spend more money so that our people can make more money. We don't want any, in other words, we don't want any cheap tourists coming to our jurisdiction. We are a high-end destination.
What message would you like to share with the Turks and Caicos to encourage persons to consider careers and business opportunities with the tourism sector across the Turks and Caicos Islands?
The tourism sector is our beautiful islands, and it offers incredible opportunities for careers and businesses. Whether it's in the hospitality, ecotourism, or showcasing our unique culture, Your skills and passion can contribute to the growth of this vital sector. I know that a lot of our students, their parents would like for them to be a doctor or a nurse or a lawyer. But I want to say that everything we do in the Turks and Caicos Islands is tourism orientated. So I want to encourage young people like you to explore the tourism sector, because we need people in this industry. So I want them to embrace the possibilities, be a part of the journey, and let's collectively create an even brighter future for Turks and Caicos Islanders.
Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
You're welcome, and I hope to see you again.
Did you enjoy being the PS with responsibilities for tourism, and what did you enjoy the most about this job?
I enjoy being the PS of tourism very much. Tourism is the economic driver of the Turks and Caicos Island. It is what lead the whole country in terms of all employment. Everything else flows from tourism. And what I enjoy most about it is that as a permanent secretary, along with my minister, we have a good opportunity to reshape the tourism industry so that we make sure that every Turks and Caicos Islander can benefit from the economic development coming out of tourism. That is touching the lives of almost every Turks and Caicos Islander in this country. So for that reason, I am happy that I can make a difference in my country.
Ms. Brown, why did you choose to work in the tourism industry? And do you believe that this sector provides exciting, lucrative careers and business opportunities?
Well, I decided to work in the tourism industry by default. I went away to study law. However, when I was studying, one of my electives was geology, which is the study of rocks. And I found that to be very interesting. My introduction to the tourism industry was at a hotel in Jamaica, Half Moon Golf and Tennis Beach Hotel. And I was the first environmental officer there. So I helped the hotel to develop environmental and sustainable tourism practices. So I kind of think of my opportunity entering the tourism industry was very different from at the time everyone studying hospitality management. And so I say to students who may not be taking the traditional route, you may be into IT, you may actually be into wanting to study medicine or nursing. Those are now opportunities through medical tourism or wellness tourism. And so for me, having been a geologist and focusing on product development, which is about the guest experience, I will say to all of you as students, there's so many varied opportunities and career paths. And there's also the opportunity right here in the Turks and Caicos Islands for you to be entrepreneurs, to whether you want to operate a concierge business, a VIP business, or you want to do tours, for example, or you want to do immersion activities such as cooking or offering adventure hiking tours. So I say to everyone that it is not just working in a hotel. There are a range of opportunities that you can have as a career path, supporting the traditional industry, which is a hotel, or untraditional, providing services or having your own business. And I really think that all of you should really explore the opportunities.
In our research and preparation for this project, we read a lot about the growing focus on sustainable and responsible tourism. What does this mean, and how does experienced Turks and Caicos Islands assist in this area?
So one of the things you probably don't think it's in everyday life for you, but when you go to the supermarket, you are carrying reusable bags or paper bags. That is not a common practice in many destinations. They're still just using regular plastic bags. And when you actually carry your reusable bags, you're donating to a charity that actually helps you to give back. Many persons don't think as that as a big deal, but it's a big deal because I'm sure as students, you are studying sustainable tourism and you see a lot of plastic bottles, a lot of garbage. You see exhibits, maybe in your case studies, that you see the impacts of tourism on on different destinations, not here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. So sustainable tourism is very important because it's for your generation. It's not really for mine anymore. Persons are coming here to visit our beaches. We actually have what we call protected sites. We have to protect them because if we don't protect them, what's then going to happen to future generations beyond you?
Can you explain what is a DMMO and how important is this establishment to the sustainable development of the tourism sector?
DMMO stands for Destination Marketing and Management Organization, which is what Experience Turks and Caicos is. So there are many destinations that may have a tourist board, or they may have an authority, or they have an agency. And what they really focus on is marketing. They're not focusing on the overall marketing, promotion, and product development, which is what we are about. We're not just about marketing. We're also about product development in all of our islands, ensuring that every islander has an opportunity to develop product or to work directly or indirectly with tourism and benefit tourism.
Okay, that's all. Thank you for your time and have a blessed day.
You too. Did I answer your questions or was I talking too long?
You were answering my questions.
You sure you're going to get an A?
Yes, ma'am.
All four of you? I hope you're not going to ask.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, please do well. I know you're going to do some other interviews, but thank you for doing this with me. I appreciate it.
As CEO of the TCHTA, what do you do and what are the key objectives of the organization?
So what do I am somewhat of a conduit between government and the private sector, continuously in government meeting, continuously advocating for the private sector. And when I say the industry, please know that that is used somewhat loosely because everything that we do in Turks and Caicos is connected to the tourism industry. So the main objective of the association is to be a voice to government.
Our topic for this project looks at tourism and its sustainable future with focus on careers and business opportunities. How does the work of the TCHTA support sustainable development in tourism?
So our work through, when you talk about the build of sustainability in the Turks and Caicos, goes from our school system to the culinary to creating agriculture initiatives with government. So one of the key pillars of the association is the sustainability of tourism within the Turks and Caicos Islands. So when we talk about sustainability, it's pretty broad, the topic sustainability. So when you get to write or talk about it, you can talk from the tourism sector, you can talk about sustainability from our Little Chefs program, where we've seen measurable results from kids starting at age 14, and now we have a student now in Paris who is studying, actively engaged in culinary, to reef-safe sunscreens, because we advocated to government that every tourist that comes into the destination should have reef-safe or use reef-safe sunscreen, because the sustainability of the Turks and Caicos is one of the draws to Turks and Caicos is our beautiful reefs and our beautiful water. And if we have people with all sorts of sunscreen coming to the destination and tarnishing our reefs, it's not sustainable for tourism in our destination.
What key message or advice you would like our group to highlight in our video and final book report in relation to careers and business opportunities in the tourism sector?
I think for your report and the tourism sector, one should connect sustainability and technology in tourism. For a long time, we haven't been connecting those dots when it came to technology and completely maximizing what other countries have been doing. As an example, Barbados. Barbados have the Nomad package, where persons can go to Barbados and be there for a year and work remotely. Sustainability in our reefs, sustainability in our educational system and the programs that we use. I would love if you can highlight those initiatives through your book reports, because those are things that the leaders of today and the leaders of the future can wrap their arms around and build it out based on your recommendations.
On behalf of my team, Anaya Orisa, Caroline Mizik, and Levi Mizik, and myself, we really appreciate the time you spent and the information you told about the job. Thank you and have a blessed day.
Thank you so much for having me, and I hope to see you in Providenciales at some point or whenever I come to visit the schools in Grand Turk. Have a great afternoon. Take care.
We know that tourism is our main industry. With all the crime and other criminal activities going on, how important is your job in the tourism industry?
Well, my job is very critical as it relates to tourism industry. Safety and security is very paramount, and we must continue to do our endeavor best to ensure the safety and security of our visiting guests to the islands.
How many security officers do you manage and how important are their jobs? And why would you recommend grade 6 and high school leavers to take on such positions as yours and security officers?
Well, to start out, safety and security, when it says safety and security, it means that it's very important that we keep a lot of information confidential. So I wouldn't be able to say exactly how many personnel do I manage, but I manage quite a bit. These officers' jobs are just as important as mine. No matter where you work in the hospitality industry, the safety and security of our guests is everyone's business. Due to the level of crime in the Turks and Caicos, I would recommend that we all focus on keeping our country safe, and this requires a high level of discipline. And the best place for this to start is in our schools.
Working at such a large hotel as the Ritz-Carlton, do you see hotels and their workers as being a big part of our tourism industry in the future, and why?
Yes, I do see hotels and their workers as being a big part of the tourism industry. As you may know, tourism is everyone's business here in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And just as it takes a village to raise a child, it takes all of us to do our part in promoting and in the development of our tourism industry.
How sustainable are the jobs of security officers and the security director as a career for the future? Is there a need to get a second job to enhance their salaries?
Thanks for that question. It's a very important question. But however, the sustainability of security jobs are very important. No matter what, we all will always have to be very concerned about our safety and security here in the Turks and Caicos, whether we're in hospitality or not. However, with a number of new proposals on the horizon, I do not think that security officers would have to take up a second job to enhance their salaries. In saying so, I know that the government is looking at a number of ordinances, whereas once they're all passed, in the security industry, we'll all have to be certified in that particular area to work as a security officer.
Honorable Howell, we know that you are a man of many talents, having served as ministers of education. Today we interview you as a taxi driver in the tourism industry. Can you please tell us about yourself?
Good afternoon. It's certainly nice to be with you all. I was once a student just like you. To tell you a little bit about myself, I was born on Middle Caicos. As you know, that's one of the Caicos Islands. I went to primary school there, then attended high school in Jamaica, went to college, trained as a teacher, taught there for 2 years, came back home, taught, became a school principal, then went into politics where I served for 20 years, Like you have mentioned, I was a minister in government and culminating as Speaker of the House in between 2012 2016. I'm semi-retired, so now I do taxi driving and I have a pretty popular radio talk show, Expressions, 3 days per week. I am a father with 3 lovely daughters. A taxi driver ought to be a person of good character. Should be honest, he should be knowledgeable, because there are individuals who will ask a great deal of questions about the islands in particular, and therefore that individual ought to be quite knowledgeable about the history and development of the Turks and Caicos Islands. Of course, they may ask questions, even though you're based in Grand Turk, they may ask questions pertaining to the other islands. So it's important that you have a broad knowledge of these things. They must be reliable. If someone calls you for a pickup at 10:30, then it should be 10:30. If anything, you should be there waiting on them and not 10:45 and apologize. I'm sorry, but it's better late than never. That's not the approach. That would not work. Have to be reliable, have to be punctual. They should be well groomed, because your appearance says a lot about you, and for that matter, even about your country. And so those are some of the traits of a taxi driver.
How important is the position of a taxi driver in the tourism industry?
The position of a taxi driver is extremely important in the tourist industry, in that the taxi driver is one of the first persons that the guest would interact with after deplaning or after coming off the ship, as the case might be here in Grand Turk. And the kind of welcome that is extended to that guest, to a great extent, goes a long way to how he will start to enjoy his or her time in the islands. And similarly, when he's about to leave, the way that taxi driver speaks to that guest may very well want them to come back again and again. Sometimes you would find that a taxi driver is called to go beyond the call of duty. For instance, in my own case, it's not unusual guests would leave their telephones in my car, and I might be all the way downtown. Some individuals say, well, this is a nice phone, I can keep that. Oh no, taxi drivers must be honest. So I would drive all the way back and bring their phones. Sometimes they would offer me payment, and I say, no thank you, I just want to return your phone. Sometimes they may come here, for instance, up at the cruise port, and forget that they left something downtown, and you have to take them back for that. Sometimes they may not have money, and in my case, I would say that's quite all right, because you see, money isn't everything. And so that taxi driver should go out of his way to ensure that that guest has a wonderful experience in the Turks and Caicos Islands. And most likely, because of that, and if others play their role, you will have that person coming back again and again.
How sustainable is the business of a taxi driver, especially in maintaining one's family?
The business of taxi operation is quite sustainable. However, it varies from place to place. In the case of Grand Turk, here we are heavily dependent on the cruise business. If it was just for the airport alone, when we consider 20 odd or 30 taxi drivers, most of the families would have gone hungry, because there is not enough business coming through the airports, primarily because there are not enough hotels and villas to bring large numbers of tourists to Grand Turk. There are no direct flights from North America. Now, in Providenciales, it is quite different. While there are hundreds of taxi drivers there, and the business varies because you have what one will call the regular taxi driver, and then you have the VIPs. These VIPs, they make lots of money. But I will tell you, their investment level is higher because to purchase their vehicles, you're talking about $60,000, $70,000 and so, all right? Whereas the ordinary taxi driver may spend $20,000, $30,000 on his vehicle. And so in Providencial, it sort of varies, okay? Now, tourism sometimes have its fluctuations, have the peak points, and then you have those periods when it's relatively slow. It calls then for management of one's finances as far as the taxi drivers are concerned. But generally, particularly in Providenciales and here in Grand Turk, as long as the cruise ships keep coming on an often basis, one can sustain and support one's family through taxi operation.
Most students would like to become doctors and lawyers, maybe politicians because they make big money. Would you recommend a taxi driver as a business opportunity to young students like us, and why?
I would not recommend taxi driving as the first choice for young people. To begin with, you have to be 21 and over to be a taxi driver. There is a certain test that you need to do to see how knowledgeable you are about the islands. You have to have a driver's license. Then, of course, you have to have a vehicle, which could be pretty expensive, particularly if you don't have family to support you in getting one as a young person. You have to have that vehicle insured, then have that vehicle licensed, and on top of that, you have to have a business license and an operator's certificate to do that. Altogether, that's several $1,000s that you have to lay out before you make the first cent. What I would always suggest to any young person to make maximum use of educational opportunities so that they could have a wide choice of other careers. But make no doubt about it, the taxi business is indeed great as a side business. And so you have a number of individuals who have done well in other areas and may be retired or semi-retired, and they go into the taxi business. Like myself, I was a teacher, politician, and so on. And so, in short, I would suggest that any young person, it's not a matter of that it's degrading. No, absolutely it's not. It's very important. The country cannot be built by lawyers and doctors alone. You definitely need the taxi drivers. But it's important for youngsters to get a decent education, as indeed the time may very well come when you're not able to drive. But that education gives you other opportunities. Like if you notice, a lot of the stars in the NBA and in football and other sports, they're going to college and universities to complete their education because they realize the time will come when they can no longer do those sports. And then they have their education to fall back on. In closing, it certainly has been a pleasure to be with you, and I wish you all the best. Learn as much as you can and make the right choices.
Honorable Hall, on behalf of my team, Nikolai Misek, Mafilia Polanco, and myself, I would like to thank you for enlightening us on the importance of having a taxi driver as a part of our careers and business opportunities in tourism. Thank you very much and have a blessed day.
Ms. Rampasad, can you please introduce yourself?
Good afternoon. My name is Amrita Rampasad, and I'm a 22-year-old working here at the Osprey Beach Hotel as a receptionist. Today, I will be conducting this interview with you guys on behalf of my manager, Mrs. Janet Williams.
What are your duties here as manager of this hotel, the Osprey Beach Hotel?
The duties of the manager is to oversee the day-to-day running of the hotel, to see to it that guests are happy and comfortable. An additional responsibility is to also make sure that all staff perform in their various duties in all departments, from advertising, front desk, to housekeeping and maintenance, as well as food and beverage, which includes the restaurant and bar.
Hotels are very lucrative businesses around the world and in the TCI, especially Provo. Do you see not having an international airport in Grand Talk as a setback for sustainable tourism here in Grand Talk?
I don't see it as a setback, but a disadvantage at times. I believe we need more hotel rooms in order to accommodate a continuous flow of international flights. In my opinion, the setback is not having an international airport. It is the local airlines that do not have sufficient seats in the busy season and can't accommodate luggage and the constant delayed flights. This will result in guests having an overnight in Provo and loss in a night's revenue to the hotels and Airbnbs here in Grand Turk.
On behalf of my team, Linai Mizik, Nathalia Polanco, and myself, we'd like to thank you for your time and God bless you.
Afternoon, so what is your name? What is your job title? Do you enjoy working in the tourist industry?
My name is Kevin McIntosh. My job title here at the Osprey Beach Hotel is the barbecue master. I'm the grill chef. And I would love to tell you this. I extremely love what I do in this hospitality field. I extremely enjoy to the fullest. I eat, sleep, dream cooking. Thank you.
We are students of the grade 6 representing license service permits. We are preparing for our Caribbean primary exit assignment finding project. Our topic is tourism, our sustainable future, careers, and business opportunities in the tourism. You have just started your business. Tell us about your business.
I own a water sports business here at the Grand Tech Cruise Center on the beach of the local village. We specialize in kayak, paddleboard rental, and play kayak drone photo shoots.
Please tell us why you chose such a profession as a water sports operator.
I chose it because I'm young. I grew up in the water, and I'm enthusiastic about tourism industry.
Business has positives and negatives. A business such as yours, how sustainable is it and where do you see your business in the next few years in the tourism market?
The business is really sustainable because we have a constant flow of cruise ships that come in on a weekly basis. It's all about staying consistent. And once you stay consistent, you can expand your business any type of heights or lengths within the next 2 or 3 years.
What advice would you give to school leaders on owning a business in the tourism industry and why?
The advice I'll give them is to let loose, have fun. Don't take it too serious, but be serious about your job. Because that it leaves a mark on you and your country and the reviews that people give off.
Finally, tourism is our main industry. Do you believe that tourism will continue to be our main industry? And do you see more sustainable career and business opportunities for our people?
Tourism definitely will be around for a long time because if everybody could notice, everything in Providenciales is building up. So every island has to get its share when the years come. As you see, Quite Turk as well, building up, having more stuff to do. And that's where most of the guests come with cruise ship. This past year we had a census account. It was approximately 600,000 people that came to Quite Turk in 2023 and 500,000 that were proposed. So everywhere is growing. Soon it'll be cell cakers, middle cakers, and soul cakers.
On behalf of my team, Nine Message, Nikolai Message, Natalie Kumako, and myself, we appreciate this time for us.
Good afternoon, my name is Natalie Polanco and I'm the Library.
Good afternoon, my name is Anaya Teacher, and I'm Sophie.
We are students of grade 6 representing the Eliza Sanders Primary School. Our mission today is to interview persons in the tourism industry about careers and business opportunities in tourism. Can you please introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, my name is Tiana Mesa. I'm 35 years old. This business here belongs to my mom. Her name is Edith Mesa. Thank you, beautiful.
Can you please tell us about your business?
So the business is all about feeding, breeding, and making sure our customers are well taken care of. In the future, we're planning that this business here will be bigger and better. We have so much stuff to offer to everyone.
Okay.
Thank you.
How sustainable do you see your business in the tourism industry?
In the future, I see my business getting bigger than Margaritaville. You want to ask me why, right? Why? Because I see my business having so much more things, so much island flavor. It comes with natural flavor, natural breeding, natural stuff, and a whole bunch of locals.
That's very nice.
Thank you.
That's a good idea.
On behalf of Natalie Polanco and myself, thank you very much for your time and listening.
Thank you so much, beautiful. And thanks again from John's Ocean View.
Good afternoon, my name is Nikolai Mizik and I am 11 years old. We are students of grade 6 representing the Eliza Sanders Primary School. We are preparing for our Caribbean Primary Exit Assessment Final Group project. Our topic is tourism, our sustainable future, careers and business opportunities in tourism. Please introduce yourself.
My name is Barbara Missick Lightborn. I'm the owner of Barbie's Restaurant and Barbie's Variety Store. I was born here in Grand Turk.
Please tell us about your business.
Well, I have a restaurant, and I would say mostly my business is through tourism, the cruise ships, where I try to cater more to the type of food that I know that they like to eat. And I also have a store where I sell souvenirs, stuff that they can buy and take back to their country. And right now, we don't have any ships today, so it's hurting. Without the ships, everything is slow.
How sustainable do you see your business in the tourism industry in the future?
Well, like I say, the tourism is what we depend on. So as long as we have tourists, my business should be doing good.
Thank you for your time and thank you for letting me ask you questions. Have a blessed day.
Thank you, and you're quite welcome.
Into the Turks and Caicos Islands. Our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos Islands are located in the North Atlantic Ocean, 575 miles southeast of Miami, Florida, and 90 miles north of Haiti and Dominican Republic. An archipelago of 40 islands and keys, of which only 8 are inhabited, shared by a population of about 40,000 patriotic residents. Discovered by a Christopher Columbus in 1492, the Turks and Caicos Islands today has developed into a resilient and alluring country with the most beautiful white sandy beaches and crystalline waters in the world, with culturally vibrant communities and can be considered an economically prosperous nation due to a booming tourism industry.
Tourist arrivals via airlift for 2023 was approximately 550,000 and 1.5 million via cruise ship arrivals. The tourism sector generated revenue of 825 million in 2019. Total registered routes in the TCI in 2019 was 4,008, 4,647 in 2020 and is projected to increase to 6,143 by 2032. TCI has experienced a remarkable 30% increase in tourist arrivals from its 2019 pre-pandemic levels. TCI is the top trending destination worldwide for the fall season according to TripAdvisor 2022 Travel Index. In October 2023, TCI joined for Tucson status collection for the finest luxury hotels, resorts, cruise lines, airlines, and tour operators and other travel entities worldwide. The TCI received notable awards for having the world's leading beach and island destination, as well as an award for being the most romantic destination.
Careers and business opportunities in the tourism sector. In the Turks and Caicos, the tourism sector generates 85% of the country's gross domestic product, GDP, and also accounts for a large percentage of the country's workforce. Our project focuses on the career and business opportunities within the tourism sector, and we learned there are so many exciting and rewarding opportunities within this sector across the TCI. The government is doing an excellent job in promoting and marketing the TCI and equally working to build the capacity of Turks and Caicos Islanders so that they are able to take advantage of the opportunities within the tourism sector.
Sustainable tourism development and the impact on employment. The United Nations World Trade Organization defines sustainable development as tourism that takes full account of its current and future economic, social, and environmental impacts, addressing the needs of visitors, the industry, the environment, and host communities. The Turks and Caicos government is also keen on doing its part in collaboration with the rest of the world to ensure that its policies and decisions implemented in the tourism sector helps to achieve 2040 Sustainable Development Goals (SDGs). The tourism industry has the potential to contribute directly or indirectly to all the goals but has been included as targets in Goals 8, 12, and 14 on inclusive and sustainable economic growth, sustainable consumptions and production, and marine resources.
What we discovered. The tourism industry provides the country's main source of employment and economic activity, and with over 1 million visitors by plane and cruise ship arrivals a year. As such, there is an increasing demand for access to labor, accommodations, transportation, and other tourism-related goods and services to ensure that the TCI is able to meet the high demand. According to the recently published Tourism Annual Report 2023, we have gathered a lot of information that provides insight into how well the Turks and Caicos tourism sector is performing and contributing to the economic development of the TCI.
In conclusion, This was a very exciting experience, and we learned valuable information about the importance and sustainability of the tourism industry to the Turks and Caicos Islands. We learned from social media that so many rich and famous persons like Drake, the Kardashians, and LeBron James, to name a few, are frequent visitors to our shores, but we now understand why. The Turks and Caicos Islands has so much to offer our visitors. Each island offers its own unique experience, from the local foods, entertainment options, friendly people, to our vibrant and culture heritage, historical infrastructure, luxury hotels, and our beautiful turquoise waters and white sandy beaches. Equally important, tourists get an opportunity to enjoy a safe, quiet, and hassle-free time during their stay in the islands. On behalf of my team and the entire Eliza Simons Primary School, we would like to say thank you to all the career professionals and business owners that welcomed us and took time from their busy schedules to answer our questions and educate us on all the rewarding careers and business opportunities in the tourism industry.
The common responses from all the persons interviewed revealed that the tourism sector in the Turks and Caicos Islands is becoming and is providing lucrative career and business opportunities for so many Turks and Caicos Islanders across our country. The government is doing an excellent job at marketing and promoting the Turks and Caicos Islands and ensuring that our environment and vibrant culture, heritage, and social interests of the people of the Turks and Caicos Islands are preserved for many generations to become.
Thank you, and may God bless our people and our beautiful by nature Turks and Caicos Islands.